many of you like a good story? Well, then you might be interested to know that this painting tells a story. It's a story with some good parts and some sad parts. A story with lots of characters, both good and bad. A story that has affected thousands of people across the ages. You'll laugh, you'll cry. It's the story of Black history. Let's begin. We should probably start by talking about the setting of some very important events in this story. Harlem, New York. As African Americans moved north to look for jobs around the turn of the century, they looked for neighborhoods where they felt safe to express themselves. One of these was Harlem, a neighborhood of New York City. Eventually, it led to a Black cultural movement based in Harlem, called the Harlem Renaissance. Between the 20s and 30s, Black musicians like Duke Ellington and Jelly Roll Morton, writers like Langston Hughes, scholars like W.E.B. Du Bois, and artists gathered in Harlem. One of those artists was Lois Mailou Jones, creator and storyteller of this art form. She was born in Boston in 1905 and became interested in art at an early age while spending summers with her grandmother on Martha's Vineyard Island, an experience that had a great influence on her. Her parents were very supportive of her and her art. They always supplied her with crayons, paints, paper, and whatever else she needed. Her art interests led to her degree in design. She studied at many well-known art colleges throughout Boston. One of her first well-known pieces was called The Ascent of Ethiopia. The Ascent of Ethiopia shows three big parts of African American history, from their wealth and power in Africa, to their slavery in America, to the revival during the Harlem Renaissance period. The highlight of this piece was she shows how Blacks are creating a new identity for themselves: art, music, and drama. Jones cleverly positions the different elements of this piece so as to guide your eyes through the story, from the Queen symbolizing their original wealth, to the working people representing slavery, to the city representing the Harlem Renaissance. You can take a moment to follow your eyes through the story. She also uses lines to tell her story. What kinds of lines can you see? Skylar?
Curved.
Yes, there are a lot of curved and wavy lines. The wavy lines really help Jones illustrate jazz music. When you look at this piece, you can almost hear it. What other kinds of lines can you see? Paul?
Straight.
Yes, there are definitely a lot of straight vertical lines. I might also point out that everything is put together vertically. She uses the vertical lines to show how Blacks were rising to the top and becoming closer to true freedom, which is symbolized by the star. Can anyone see any other kinds of lines?
Vertical.
Vertical?
Diagonal.
Yes, we do definitely see some diagonal lines. Since diagonal lines signify movement, it shows that Blacks were always moving and having to adapt throughout history. She wants you to know that they were a very adaptable people. As you can see, lines are a very important part of this story. Depth is an additional storytelling tool that Jones uses in this work of art. You see the Queen in the foreground, or front, the workers in the midground, or middle, and the city in the background. She does this to show the different parts of the piece chronologically, with the foreground being the earliest, like the chapters in a book. Ingenious. Color is another important element of this painting. You can see that she uses a lot of blacks and blues. These symbolize all their struggles throughout history. The other main color you notice is yellow. The yellow represents all of their triumphs. The color are also used to evoke feeling. All the blues make me feel calm, but I also feel sad for what the Black race had to go through. How do the colors in this piece make you feel?
yellow shows the
Colin?
light, though. The yellow shows the light, right? Right.
Colin?
I think that the cool colors make me kind of feel sad after you told the story about some of the parts.
Yes, I definitely feel that too. Jones used the Ascent of Ethiopia to tell the story of her African American heritage. I decided to create a piece to tell the story of my Dutch heritage. As you look at this, you can think about how you might tell your own story. I wanted to represent all of the three main traits that the Dutch people took up in America. They were farmers, they were gardeners, and they worked in the dairy trade. And I also included some symbols of the Netherlands, like wooden shoes and a windmill. The Ascent of Ethiopia helped Jones to gain popularity and start a good career. She went on to live and work in France, Haiti, and Africa. In her career, she designed masks, textiles, stained glass windows, and more. And of course, she painted. She died in 1998. I hope you've learned a lot about the story that this piece has to tell and the artist behind it. I also hope you learned that an artist is more than just an artist. An artist is a storyteller.